Welcome, everyone. Starting off with a very small crowd today. That's okay. Uh, but yeah, welcome, everyone. Welcome to the third week of the Thanksgiving box. We are entering so I organized this month's box into the order of wines that I want to drink on a Thanksgiving day. So now we've done the first morning sparkle, midday snacking, cooking wine, and then now we're entering into the red and the white that I want on the actual dinner table. These are the things that I want to drink. Um, I know we'll talk more about them once we have to tasting it, but yeah, in general, I mean, at this point, all of you have been on this wine club, have kind of gotten to know my palate for some time. But like, I'm not a big like a fuller bodied aromatic white wine person. Like Rhone whites, I fucking hate those. Oftentimes it's because it's so low in acid. I just feel like, when naturally the wines, like a Viognier, Roussanne, Marsanne, those kind of wines tend to get really flabby and big. It gives a lot of body, which is, I guess, good for wine pairing reasons. But it just lacks acid. And oftentimes I just found those things just kind of blasé and like, yeah. But uh, except in Thanksgiving table where I actually think the little bit of an aromatic white, fuller bodied aromatic white is particularly nice with the type of a food that's available on Thanksgiving table. But especially when it has acid, like this one, I think it is like the perfect thing. So it's part of the reason why I picked it. And then we'll talk about this is a blend of three different grapes and what each one of those things play a role in this thing. But yeah, let's get into it. Um, just a few announcements. The invoices have been out. So the next month is a sparkling box. It's the annual end of the year New Year's Eve sparkling box. So all the sparkles. There's some bangers in there. I basically did two bangers. There's actual champagne in there. Yes, I found you a organic grower champagne under 30 bucks wholesale, which is unheard of these days. So got your actual champagne and Cremant de Bourgogne. So two bangers. And then I got you two like real bang for your buck kind of sparkling. So you got like the both two of the both worlds. But really, really fun box. But yeah. So pay your invoice if you're in. There's still quite a bit of outstanding invoices out there. If you are planning on skipping, that's all right. But just let me know. So I'm gonna wrap it all up. Otherwise, I'm going to start hounding you starting tomorrow. So don't let me chase you. So help me figure all that out. Besides that, oh, and we're talking about it before the recording, in case you're watching this recording, and in case you didn't see my email, but the Godfather's wife, Fran, has passed away. So we're all feeling very sad. Um, I look for my email if you haven't seen it, and if you'd like to reach out to Marty, I think he would really appreciate hearing a few words from us. So yeah, if you could drop him a couple notes, couple words, sending your thoughts, I think he would appreciate it. So I think that'd be a really nice thing for us to do. I'm trying to think about some nice things to do. I was thinking maybe I can drop off a card with you, Julia, and Kelly, and then maybe people who pick up can have them like sign the card. So we can like send it to Marty, so can help me coordinate that. Um, as well as yeah, I don't know. If you guys have any ideas of something that you think would be kind of nice and sweet to do for Marty, let me know. I'm more than happy to spend some time to kind of put the logistics together and do something because it's Marty, and Fran. So
Yeah, I was thinking, I mean, it's like, I mean, I'm happy to ask people to Venmo me or something if we want to like get like send them something or
yeah,
get, you know what I mean? Something, I mean, I like the card idea, but if we want to like add something on top of that too, I'm just trying to think of um, what would be welcome. But,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if
or if it's just like a giant lasagna. I don't know. I don't know what that like, it's like everybody needs something different in grief. I don't know what.
right. Yeah. So yeah, if you have an idea, let me know, and then we can kind of bounce it around and see how we can kind of make it happen as a group. But yeah, I thought that would at least be kind of nice to get everybody's kind of little signature words on a single card and send it off. I think that'd be kind of nice. And for those of you who get it delivered, I don't know. I don't know if you're always home when wines get delivered, but maybe I'll have Tony or the wine delivery driver with a card, so you can maybe sign it, or maybe you guys can just all send them a card yourself individually. But anyways, yeah, just know that that has taken place, and then we're all in a very sad place.
We don't know when the service is or anything, right?
So when I spoke to him, he said the immediate kind of like the service has already taken place. So like the family, close friends, but they are planning on doing much bigger memorial service, inviting like the NIH folks and then Johns Hopkins folks that the friend used to work with. Marty did say he will let me know so I can shoot it out to the rest of the wine club as well. So you guys
Maybe we could do some flowers or something for it.
Yeah,
Or whatever
yeah.
they're asking for. Yeah.
For sure.
As a group.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely relay the invitation and message as soon as I get that from Marty. But yeah, so expect that coming sometime. I don't know, whenever they decide to do it. But yeah, he said he's looking for a venue to kind of pull it all together. So besides that, I don't really have. Oh, just one last thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. I think I can, but on Friday, I don't know, especially for you Brooklyn folks, I don't know if you heard, but the Brooklyn Finest Old Spot, there's a new place called the Harp that's opening there. Apparently, that is my partner Justin's ex-husband that's opening that place. So she has asked me if I have time on Friday to come by, drink a pint, and maybe support him on his opening day. So I figure, why not just like maybe we can do like a happy hour or something. We can all go to a beer or something at the Harp in Brooklyn. So
this Friday?
This Friday, like in like 2 days is when they're opening.
Yeah. No, we've been following it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll shoot an email out. But yeah, if you are around on Friday, yeah, maybe come by and have a pint with me, or if not, know that it's opening, go support it, I guess.
I'd love to go, but I'm going out of town for a wedding on Friday.
Okay. Okay. I think that's all the announcements I have. That's pretty much it. Oh, just so you know, next month, so I am going to Philippines for 2 weeks next month. So I mean, all the email will go out, but the two of the recordings in the middle will most likely be recordings, tastings. Thought about bringing wines to Philippines, but that seems like a lot. I haven't even looked at what the time difference is and all of that, but it seems like there's like a brownout that's happening in the countryside of Philippines, and just in case there's no brownout and there's like Wi-Fi, I just don't want to have to deal with that. So most likely it will just be recordings.
You don't want to do any 8:30 in the morning tastings?
Yeah, I think it's 12 hours.
I mean, it's not the time, like 8:30 doesn't bother me, but yeah, I just don't want to make sure, like, yeah, I'm not going through some sort of,
A Wi-Fi.
like a Wi-Fi blackout, yeah, or anything like that. So.
You're flying in and out of Manila?
Yeah.
I need to get Steph to send me where she ate. So, okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah, flying in on the 11th and then coming back like that, flying out that Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So, all right.
Allison asks you to repeat the Friday thing again.
On Friday, the old Brooklyn's Finest place location. There's a place, Irish pub called the Harp that is opening. Apparently, that is owned by my partner Jesselyn's ex-husband. So she asked me to go and support him on his opening day. So if I asked if people are around on Friday, maybe we can organize like a happy hour or something. We can all grab a beer or something. So that's what I'm saying. All right, let's get into the wine. Or any questions about anything before we get into the wine? Excellent. In case you're just joining us now, we're tasting this guy today. It's like a fun, modern art-ish label. 2024, so far out, bright white. Santa Barbara white is what we're tasting today.
Can I ask one question? Is the harp already open?
No, they open on Friday. This Friday.
I'm just looking at their menu and some items are out of stock. The house side salad, they're out. Which is such a funny, it's like, sorry, you're out of something that they sell at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's
Like-
hilarious.
The website, because again, we have been like stalking them. Like the website is kind of a hot mess. Like it's like they like it looks like it makes it seem like they exclusively just only have Guinness and nothing else. Like no wine, no cocktail, nothing. But then also it's like just like bad stock photos, or like Gen AI photos and like, but they'll, I'm sure they'll get it. It looks lovely. Like they've done a nice job with the buildings.
Okay.
So they've updated their beers and they've updated
okay.
they've got a bunch of beers on here now. They have
Great.
all those are in stock, but they're out of milk punch and side salad. And also fried cauliflower. Just a couple items that have already sold through in the early rush to not be open. So sorry, just like such an odd thing to be like, we're out of side, like we're gonna update our website so everyone knows. Don't come here expecting a side salad, motherfuckers. You're not gonna get that. Like, okay, sorry. Back to the
Yeah. Maybe it was like the only vegetable item that like we don't have the opening money to order everything, so we're like fuck vegetables. Like only.
I mean that would be very Irish of them. Like if
totally.
they're staying true to the theme. Like there shouldn't be a side salad there. Like
side salad. Potatoes, that's a vegetable, like
they do promise a one of a kind chip experience.
See, there you go. I mean, it's called a harp, for God's sake.
With fish or just chips?
The chip shop is one category of their menu, and it says fat chips, a one-of-a-kind experience in building your own fries, $9.
I just want curry mayo. That's all.
There's not a lot of one-of-a-kind experiences in the world that you can get for $9. This sounds promising. I'm sure it will live up to the expectations I have for it.
Who doesn't like fried potato?
Yeah. Come on Friday. We'll find out.
Cool.
All right. So let's get into it. So here's a map of California. So we're in US, Santa Barbara, right? So here's a map of California. So where we are. We've seen this map many times. We've also looked at California, Santa Barbara particularly. But in case you're not familiar with the California geography, we're in Santa Barbara, which is down here. And sorry, this resolution is not very good, but Santa Barbara is right here. So we're part of the Central Coast, arguably, which is probably my favorite wine region. I mean, if you're looking at the big regions out of any regions in California, particularly or arguably maybe in US, I think. So yeah, I mean, it extends all the way from south of San Francisco. So sorry, 1 second. So San Francisco Bay is right here, and then it extends all the way through Santa Cruz Mountains, Monterey, which is down here, and now it goes all the way down into Paso Robles, which is down here, and then it goes into Santa Ynez Valley, Santa Maria Valley, which is up here, Santa Maria, Santa Ynez. These are essentially the Santa Barbara County, going all the way down. Santa Barbara is the site of one of California's original missions, but however, the interest in kind of winemaking here has really not taken, has only taken off in the last several decades. Really, if you know the name, a lot of California wine nerds will probably recognize this name, but Sanford and Benedict is one of the key, probably the most recognizable name from Santa Barbara area. Richard Sanford's original vineyards in Santa Rita Hills. And then his winery called Sanford and Benedict is essentially what really put Santa Barbara on the map. And obviously cannot talk about Santa Barbara without talking about 2004 American classic film called Sideways. Public awareness of Santa Barbara wines and Pinot Noir particularly in general really skyrocketed after that film came out. But as you can see on the map, I mean, it's a coast. Even the name is Central Coast. So you can imagine all this Pacific Ocean. By the way, if you have never been in this ocean, just know that this water is fucking frigid. It's very, very cold. So all that kind of wind current and wind that blows in from the Central Coast, I mean, from the Pacific Ocean into it, is essentially what makes this area really ideal for viticulture. I mean, this is true for Napa Valley, particularly for Sonoma, where there's this kind of like a trough and a valley where all that maritime cool airs kind of travel through the Sonoma Valley, and then it just kind of cools down everything, like the Russian River Valley. Very hot area, but there's a huge diurnal shift because of that, all that cold air that's able to get in. And here in Central Coast, it's not much of a valley, it's pretty much fully exposed. So there's a huge diurnal shift that takes place along the Central Coast. Obviously, this being California, particularly in Central California, you get a ton of UV rays, ton of sunlight. It's very warm in the daytime, very dry, which makes for a great place for organic farming, makes pest control very easy. All the UV rays for incredible ripening. The ripening of the fruit is never a problem. In fact, if anything, over-ripening is probably a challenge here. But then all that cooling maritime influence is what makes this really, really ideal. And as you can see right here in Santa Barbara, this is part of the Central Coast where the California coast takes a huge kind of a cut. So everything runs kind of north to south, and all of a sudden starting at this point of I think this is a conception point. Conception is what this point is called. From here, the coastline runs west to east as opposed to north to south, which is most of Central California. So the aspect changes a little bit. So Santa Barbara kind of has its own little bit of microclimate, mesoclimate that exists here. But in general, just like the rest of the Central Coast, very warm during the daytime, but very, very cool in the nighttime, which is great for viticulture, as we know. Many, many varieties grow here. Oh, actually, I didn't know this either, but apparently Santa Barbara has the longest growing season, lengthiest growing season in all of California. Makes it one of the best grape growing regions, not only in California, but in the US for that reason. Many varieties grow here, obviously Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, like I mentioned, being the king and queen. But Merlot, Sauvignon Blanc, many Rhone varieties, Syrah, Viognier, Grenache, as well as many of the Italian Spanish varieties that the missionaries brought as well, as immigrants brought, are all planted here. So yeah, I mean, we're talking about, especially if you're counting going all the way from Santa Cruz Mountains, which is a lot of Cabernet, Ridge Winery, which is arguably one of the best well-known California wineries, is in Santa Cruz Mountains. But going all the way down, obviously, Paso Robles has a lot of Rhone varieties, as well as Bordeaux varieties in here. But especially as you get down to Santa Barbara, we're talking about Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, because it gets much cooler at nighttime. But also there are also people who are playing around, a lot more experimentation, a lot more exploration that's being taken place here, especially up in the hillside. For someone like Raja Par, who is experimenting with the Jura varieties like Pulsar and Savagnin in places like the Cambria here, because it gets quite cold at nighttime. All right, so let's talk about who makes this wine. So this is so far out is a collaboration between 3 people. Their tagline is "Organic California Wine for the People" is their tagline. Specialize in producing kind of an unconventional but approachable and refreshing kind of a natural wine using Santa Barbara fruit. Collaboration between these 3 folks. Andrew Jones is one of them. And this is Mike Testa. And this is Jamil Williams. So these are the 3 dudes behind this project. They all have a daytime job. This is kind of like a side passion project. Obviously all involved in wine in one way or another. So let's start with Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones, he started making wine in his attic in Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, where he went to undergrad. And then kind of that curiosity led him to working in wine. And then later on, he founded and grew his acclaimed brand called Field Recording. And you might have seen Field Recording because we have featured it here on the Wine Club, as well as it's kind of everywhere now. But honestly, Field Recording's orange wine to this day, in my opinion, is one of the best like entry level orange. If anybody who's never had orange and you want to introduce somebody to orange wine, I think Field Recordings orange wine is actually a fantastic entry point. Great kind of a on ramp onto a world of orange wine. But yeah, he's the owner of Field Recording. In his day job, he also works as a nursery fieldman, planting and planting vineyards all over California. But he also owns Field Recording, makes wine, and then obviously makes wine for So Far Out as well. So second gentleman is Mike Testa, which is this guy. He's a farmer, 5th generation farmer from Santa Maria, graduate from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo as well. Then he went the complete opposite route. You know, Andrew Jones went the very natural wine field recording route, independent private label. He, on the other hand, climbed the ladders at E&J Gallo. So he worked for the biggest wine company in America. I think E&J Gallo is actually the biggest wine company in the world, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he always had a dream of coming back to Santa Barbara. And then he finally came back. He became a partner at Coastal Vineyard Care Associates, which is the biggest vineyard management firm in Santa Barbara County. I actually think they're going up to Santa Cruz as well, just out of Santa Barbara, because I remember that name, the Coastal Vineyard Care Associates, being mentioned when, I don't know if you guys remember, Kenny Lekitprokong, that Thai winemaker from Hobo Wine Company that we had on as a guest speaker one time. We featured as a ghostwriter Pinot Noir as well. But anyways, I remember him talking about that, working with them as well for some of his vineyards. But yeah, the largest vineyard management company in Santa Barbara, and he's a partner there. So he focuses on the farming aspect of the So Far Out. He makes all the vineyard selections as well as the vineyard management. So yeah, he's a viticulturist. He's the one who grows the fruit. And then finally, Jamil Williams. I've actually met Jamil at one point. I don't remember exactly how long ago it was, but it was a while back. But he started his career at Blue Hill Wine Shop before moving to California to take part in the kind of blooming San Francisco, Los Angeles wine scene and the food scene, restaurant scene. But if you guys have ever been to Silver Lake Wine, which is an iconic wine shop in LA by Silver Lake, or in Silver Lake neighborhood, he used to manage that wine shop. So he was more on the retail side and sales side. And then now he has moved on to Amy Atwood Selections, LA-based importer and a distributor. So he focuses mostly more on the kind of sales and the branding and the marketing side of the project. But again, very much of a wine nerd, has been in wine for a while. But yeah, at the wine shop, the Silver Lake, is where he met Andrew Jones of Field Recordings, and then they became friends, and that's kind of how it all started. But he's kind of like the first creative force behind the So Far Out. So I found this on their website. But the story goes, while thinking about how our society has changed and evolved our recent years, Jamil thought of the term so far out. We are so far out from where we were just a few years ago. It got him thinking about how so far out he could take a wine brand. Knowing what a dynamic force Andrew is, they partnered together, adding Mike's vineyard expertise. The trio imagined a brand that pushes the limits creatively and puts the fun back into wine tasting. A brand you can share with your friends and family, is what they said on the website. But this is the first time I got to taste their wines, but I tasted through 3 of their wines, but they all have this kind of common thread, which is like all their wines are really well made. Obviously, you know, Andrew Jones, Beyond Field Recordings, very, very technically correct and well-made wines. And none of them has this like it's a seriously thought out wine, but none of it is very serious. Like all meant to be very easy to drink. There's enough there that if you want to go back and kind of like think about the wine, you can. But if you didn't want to think about it and you just want to like drink the wine and enjoy it, it's great. So these are the kind of bottles that I really enjoy. The bottles that you can show to a wine geeks, but also as well as the people who don't really care about learning about wine, but just likes wine. And I feel like this kind of checks the boxes for both of those people, which is great. But yeah, so they intentionally don't work with the grapes like Cabernet and Chardonnay, the stereotypical mainstream varieties, but they work with different varieties all through Santa Barbara that pops out and then make it in these very kind of outside the box, non-typical, non-conventional kind of a style is their whole jam. All right, so what is this wine? How do I get out of this thing? There you go. Very straightforward, straightforward winemaking here. It's a certified organic, 40% Grenache Blanc, 40% Viognier, 40% Sauvignon Blanc from 2 vineyards, 3R Ranch and Tres Hermanas. And this all stainless steel, no real like aging afterwards. So we're talking about just all about varietal kind of purity, all about the fruit. But that kind of, once we get to tasting it, like I didn't even know what the blend was until I tasted it, but then I heard the composition and it made complete sense. So if you ever had any varietal, 100% varietal bottling of any of these varieties, you totally will understand. But Grenache Blanc, again, is that Southern Rhone white, very fat, big. It's got the volume, right? It gives it the power. So it gives it the body. It fills out it's the filler. The Viognier gives that perfume. There's a lot of this kind of like floral, peachy, kind of like orchard fruit, like a perfume and flower that runs through this wine. That's all from Viognier. And then finally, that 20% Sauvignon Blanc is what gives you the angle, the acid and the cut. So all that kind of 3 blend together. So you get this like I said, for the Thanksgiving table wine, white wine, I like the fuller bodied kind of perfumed wine, which I normally do not like. But I think that Thanksgiving table, that's kind of nice. And when you throw it with that 20% Sauvignon Blanc, that really cuts it through and gives it that lift in the acid. I think this is actually really, really well made, perfect one for Thanksgiving table. Again, all stainless steel, just a little bit of no additives, just a little bit of sulfites at bottom. That's all it is. So very simple winemaking, very straightforward. Any questions about any of that that I just went over before we get to tasting? Excellent. Excellent. Let's taste it. Who wants to take the appearance? Come on.
I do, Un.
I knew it. I knew it.
You knew it?
Yeah. I had a feeling.
All right. Un, this wine is clear.
This wine is clear. Indeed.
And I always have such dark lighting. I feel like it's kind of light. Maybe it's medium. I have really bad lighting, so I'm not totally sure.
Yeah. I don't have a great lighting here myself, but yeah, I mean, there's like a lower and a medium. Yeah, I'll call this about medium myself. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe like high.
I'm gonna call it lemon colored.
Yeah, yeah. I'll call this lemon myself. Medium lemon is what I'll call this.
Medium lemon.
Any other observations?
I don't think so.
It's very clear, quite bright actually. It's almost feel like this wine has maybe gone through a little bit of filtration, or maybe it just kind of racked for a while. But yeah, it's quite translucent, which is
It's
fine.
like very clear.
Yeah, very clear.
Yeah.
You get to pick the next person for the news.
I'm gonna pick, I think I picked Dana last week. I'm gonna pick Charles.
Triple C.
Okie doke. Wine is clean, no faults.
Yep. Wine is clean. Wine is sound. Intensity.
Medium plus intensity.
It's got some espresso like here. So yeah, inches. I'm gonna call this medium plus intensity as well. Aromas, ooh, what do you got?
Get some blossom, maybe
Yeah.
blossom and honeysuckle. There's definitely a lot of floral on the nose.
Yep.
Um, I mean, there's a ton of citrus and stone fruit, but maybe there's a little bit of kind of like green apple in there as well, just a tiny little bit. It's kind of it's not a red apple or a yellow apple though. It's like kind of a tart green apple.
Yep, totally. Yeah, I was gonna say green apple, pear, like a green pear, that kind of route, if we're gonna pick anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Lemon,
Yep.
lots of lemon. And then peach.
Yep.
There's some good peach on that.
Yep.
And it's like kind of I don't know, it's kind of evolving, but like I was getting a little bit of like high tone peach for a little while. Now I feel like I'm getting just peach, but I was getting like peach rings for
Yeah, I can see
a
that.
little while. There's just a tiny bit of sort of like high tone fruit going on in here.
Okay. Yeah, to me, this is not like a yellow peach. It's like if peach, like a white peach, donut peach. Like,
yeah, white peach. That's a great call.
Yeah.
One of those, what is it, like a Jupiter? What are like those weird flat peaches?
Yeah. Donut peaches.
Yeah. And I think maybe a little bit of tropical fruit in here, although I haven't figured out what it is yet. Maybe like a little like mango and pineapple.
Okay.
There's something. I'm not great at tropical.
So
I'm not talented at tropical fruits.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go with a bit of a passion fruit or like an elderflower, that kind of route, because, and I think it's because, I mean, it's definitely because of Sauvignon Blanc. So Sauvignon Blanc that has that kind of greenish, that like almost herbaceous kind of a tinge to it, which oftentimes to me expresses itself as a passion fruit, especially when it comes from a very ripe fruit character.
I never eat or smell passion fruit because I don't really like passion fruit that much. So
yeah, okay,
that's
there you go.
You'd think I would have a better scent memory for something I don't particularly like, but I do not.
Yeah. All right.
No red, black, or dried cooked fruit, but there is some herbaceousness for sure.
Yeah.
There's sort of like a grassy.
Yeah.
I like really over smell and over taste like pyrazines and green stuff. So to me, grass always is almost on the border of asparagus. This to me is grass, though it's not asparagus. So I feel like the pyrazines are pronounced, like, but not high. Like, you can get them, but they're not really, really high, which makes sense. I think you said it was 20% Sauv Blanc. So
I actually think this is really nice. That little 20%, obviously, it gives it the acid which we'll talk about when we get to tasting it. But just even on the perfume, on the aroma side, like on the backs of all the fresh ripe fruit that Charles just called out, just had that little bit of that herbaceous, savory thing on top. I think it's just really, really nice.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, honestly, it smells like if you've ever like broken apart a bunch of grapes for like to eat or for your kids or whatever. Like it smells like grape stems is what it smells like. It smells like grape stems.
Any spice, any stoniness?
Stoniness, yes. Yeah. There's some minerality here.
Yeah. For sure.
I don't know. I wasn't paying close enough attention to notice if you talked about the soils. You probably did, but yeah, there's some rocks in there.
Yeah, I get like the whetstone kind of thing. Also, like, I mean, this also maybe just power of suggestion and knowing where we are in the world, but like I get a little bit of like an ocean spray, like sea spray, sea foam, that kind of like a thing going on. Just like if somebody took just a ocean water and sprayed it, kind of a thing. But yeah, again, power. It maybe just be a power suggestion. Any secondary?
Now you've suggested it, and I'm getting it as well. So
yeah. Any secondary? Any tertiary?
no tertiary.
Yeah.
Secondary, not particular, nothing strong. I mean,
Agreed.
you could persuade me that there was something, but I don't really get much. There's not a lot of yeasty notes in here at all, and it's
No,
not like
no.
a super mallow wine at all.
No.
So
No, this is all, I would actually be surprised if this is put through full mallow, but yeah, I mean, no secondary nor tertiary. Again, this is all stainless steel, very straightforward, just kind of a fruit forward kind of wine. Cool, excellent, good job. You get to pick the next person for the palette.
okay, anybody want to go? You can raise a hand. Dana will do it. I see her moving to
Oh.
unmute herself. Awesome.
I just needed to unmute.
Once that shoulder twitched, I was like, I got
Right,
somebody.
Yeah. Okay. For sweetness. I'm definitely getting dry,
Yeah, I mean,
like
this wine
medium dry.
is a lot of fruit.
It's not like last week. It definitely, you could feel it back there, but it's definitely dry.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's the acid, but.
Yeah.
So.
Acid.
So for acid, I would say it's like medium minus.
Hmm?
Or do you think it's more medium more? I mean, I'm not like getting the. I guess medium. Okay. Towards the medium plus.
Yeah, I have a hard, I don't think I would particularly put it at medium plus right now, but like this is definitely like high end of medium for me right now.
Medium,
I'd probably call this medium on the exam setting, but anywhere between medium to medium plus, it's definitely not low. The acid is definitely present here, and a lot of that is particularly why I like this wine, because if you ever had, again, Grenache Blanc and Viognier on its own, like it's not a high acid wine.
Right.
It's quite low. Again, I think that Sauvignon Blanc kind of cuts through, gives it the angle, but also this place having it being, again, that diagonal shift gets quite cold at nighttime, so it gives it a little acid. But yeah, I would call this a high end of medium, lower than medium plus. Tannin, we don't have to talk about tannin, it's white wine. Alcohol.
Medium.
Yeah. What do you think the percentage is, if you had to guess?
12%. What is it? I didn't even look at it.
Yeah, I mean, just to me, this tastes like a right down the middle, like 12.5. I don't know where it is actually.
I can't even see it because my here
13.1.
13. Okay, so I was gonna say between 12 and 13.
Yeah, it's right down the middle, medium territory. Body. What do you think of the body on this?
Definitely there's a lot here. So medium plus.
Yeah, this is medium plus, bordering onto the full. I mean, it's got some weight.
Yeah.
It's got some viscosity to this wine.
Yeah.
And again, this is the kind of that Viognier Grenache Blanc. And I'm not a huge fan of these kind of like a really full aromatic whites. I keep going back to that, but again, Thanksgiving table, like this kind of wine with turkey and all that like butter and fat on the table, it kind of needs this body to be able to match up to that.
Well, it heightens those tastes instead of competes with them. I guess.
Right, exactly.
Trying to say, yeah.
At the same time, having that Sauvignon Blanc acid in there cuts through that richness, kind of refreshes your palate. So this is really good. Most we don't have to talk about flavor intensity.
I would say it's medium.
Yeah, I'll call this like a high
I mean,
end
it's
medium.
not.
It's not shy.
No.
I would go lower than medium, but yeah, to me, this is more expressive on the nose than it is on the palate. And then on the nose, we call it medium plus.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
High end of medium, lower than medium plus, depending on where you are, but it's not sharp for sure. Oh. I'll probably give you medium plus on the exam, just to be,
Yeah.
it's like right on the cutoff.
There's a
Okay.
lot of the, kind of, is it the primary? What are we looking at?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is all
It bounced
primary.
around, because I guess because of the combination of the different grades.
Yeah. Do you confirm everything that Charles called out? Is there anything else that you get or something
I
different?
totally agree. Yeah, I totally agreed. And I was thinking before we started talking about peach, like definitely like white peach for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you covered that.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing to Dan's point, that was the only thing that was in I think what Charles called out on the notes is actually dead on. I agree with everything that he called out. I think this is very true to what we smell on the palate as well. And then except plus that one thing that Dan just called out, I get salinity here. Like there's a salty salinity finish at the end, like a briny finish. So again, maybe that little sea spray plus the salt. Again, which I think is beautiful, right? Like all that really plenty abundance of fruit, little bit of touch of like herbaceous savoriness and salty kind of balance on top of it. Beautiful. Excellent thing.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you how long is the length to finish?
It's pretty. Well, I would say it's medium plus. I taste it for a while on the finish.
Yeah.
There's and a lot of different things happen at the finish.
Yeah, it's quite. I just poured myself a new glass. It's really pretty. Like there's a lot of like blossomy white flowers. Yeah, it's quite pretty.
And it has changed from because I chilled it and then I pulled it out for 20 minutes and poured it, and from an hour and a half ago or whenever. Yeah, it's definitely opened up.
Cool. Yeah, I'll call this medium plus on the finish as well. So bring it on for us. How good is this wine? Justified? Would you age it?
I think it's very good. I mean, I think that from the nose to the palate, it's been, it's clean. It's, kind of medium plus intensity. Yeah, I would say very good.
Yeah, I mean, right, we called it balance, medium plus on intensity on both nose and the palate. The complexity, I mean, it's all primary, but we call that quite a few things, right? We got the flower, we got the green fruit, we got the lemon, we got the peach, we got some grass, we got some rocks, salinity, sea spray, like a bunch of stuff, right? So I'll call that squarely medium, maybe even like higher medium. And then the lengthwise, you call that medium plus. So looking all across, we're ending on medium plus. So I'll call this very good myself. Now, would you age this?
Oh. Well, I read your notes. It sounded like this is a wine to drink, but I guess you could lay it down for a couple of years, year or two to see what it would taste like.
Yeah.
But I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about it.
Yeah, right. So in order for it to age, it's got to have acid and this has good acid. We call it medium plus acid, right? High in the medium, or the medium plus, so decent backbone, not crazy. And to me, again, this wine is what I love about this wine is all that just bursting freshness and I don't necessarily know losing some of that. Sure, maybe the complexity will go up, but we already have quite a bit of good complexity here. There are a lot of different things going on. So I don't necessarily know adding the savory component to this is necessarily going to make it more delicious.
Right.
So having said that, so I don't think this wine's going to fall apart anytime soon because it's a solid backbone, but I would say drink this. Don't worry about aging it for a long time. Drink it over the next 2 to 3 years and it should be delicious, is what I would say. All right. Excellent. Good job, everyone. Any questions? Any objections, disagreements, or was there anything that was in the tasting notes?
I have a
Anything?
question.
Yeah.
So, like, is this, so and again, apologies if you already said this, is this like full cluster fermented?
I'm willing to bet it's not whole cluster.
The reason I ask is I feel like there's like very gentle stem tannin or something on, like, if you really give this a swirl, there's not like, I mean, it's not, there's no tannin, right? But there's not zero tannin either. If you like really move it, there's kind of like something in your, you know, in your front gum, upper gum, like there's something there. And I'm like, huh, there's like a little something, like, is this whole cluster fermented or something?
Totally right. You know, I willing to bet, because to me, this doesn't strike me as a whole cluster, because whole cluster has a very particular kind of like steamy spiciness that is usually very present. It could be they give it like maybe a couple of hours of skin contact. Maybe overnight skin contact or something.
It's actually kind of nice because like it's another thing to like scrub away a little bit of the body on the, because I'll be honest, I don't love huge body on white, maybe either red wines either, I don't know, but I'm not like a huge fan, but like this is a very well balanced wine, so I like the wine, but that little tiny bit of like whatever.
That's a good catch. Actually, now that you mention it, I'm totally getting into like the front now that I'm moving it around.
Like that could like move this way more towards like turkey with gravy, and you're like, oh, okay, I've got the tannin to like get rid of the gravy fat. Like, cool.
Yeah.
And then one other thing, I wonder what people think about this. I looked this wine up, so I won't guess the price. Just while we were doing the palate, and somebody put in here green like Serrano chili, and I was like, ooh,
Sauvignon Blanc.
Actually, I mean, because like I was thinking before,
the very, very, very end,
but it's not. But I was looking through it. I was like, no, it's not green bell pepper, but it's actually because it's a little spicier than that. It's a tiny little bit spicier than that. I was like, ooh, Serrano is a good call. Not spicy, but like not totally neutral and sweet like a green bell pepper. I was like, that's a pretty good call. So anyway,
jalapeno Serrano with the Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah,
for sure, makes sense. Actually, this goes back to kind of what I was saying. Like, this is kind of the bottle that you can go back and kind of geek out on little stuff, like what's happening there, like what Charles was doing, right? Like, I was like, wait, there's a little bit like a tannin, like there's a little bit of a structural component, texture to this wine. It's not just like a pound juice, you know.
So to that point, like, how come no one ever talks about tannin in white wine? Like, you know, recognizing, sure, there's 1,000 times less tannin in a white wine than in your run-of-the-mill red wine, but also like it hits harder, right? Like tiny bit of tannin in a white wine like actually comes through, whereas a tiny bit of tannin in a red wine might not come through. Like, why don't people talk more about? I don't think I've ever seen a single review of a white wine where people say, "Oh yeah, it has a little bit of tannin." So then I always feel like a crazy person where I'm like, I feel like this white Burgundy that has some age on it has like some black tea or something, and people are like, black tea? What are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm insane.
Because I think it's more, you might hear people talk, so like this is how us winers talk about perhaps a touch of skin contact or communicate skin contact, potential skin contact on white wine with each other, which is like, that white wine is textural. It has texture, right? It's another way of saying, I think there may be a little bit of skin contact here.
Is it just that everybody's too scared to say there's tannin in a white wine? Why you just, there's literally a word for what that
I don't know. Because it's like so small, such a small amount that like it's not like worth like distinguishing how much or like, I guess, what kind of tannin.
I think it's worth mentioning. Like, if you were to be served,
I'm totally with you. I agree with you, because I do.
If you're served like a soup at a restaurant and there's a tiny bit of shit in there, even if it's less than like in your, you know, outhouse, you'd still be like, I think it's worth noting there's a tiny bit of shit in there. Like, it kind of depends on what's in there, right? Like,
no, I do think, to your point about that textural component, just a lever, so a little bit of textural component in a white wine makes or breaks the wine. Especially because the white wine, it's so hard to get texture in the white wine because you don't have a lot of that phenolic compounds. So you either have to put it through oxidative winemaking, or you have to do a bunch of lees stirring or something to build that body out, the texture out. So oftentimes another trick is to do whole cluster or to do a little bit of a skin contact, but not long, just like a few hours. But to your point, it makes even more noticeable in white wine than red wine because there's nothing. The canvas is so blank. So yeah, excellent. Glad you caught it. Yeah, no, that's an excellent one. Any other questions? Did you guys like this one?
Mhm. I like it better as it's opened up, like as it's kind of cooled down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as
Initially, it didn't, like, I couldn't, like, initially it just didn't, yeah, like the fullness of it,
yeah,
I'm now capturing now versus
got it.
it definitely needed to like chill down, you know, kind of
Yeah,
to be chill. It needed to kind of like calm down.
Yep. Yeah, when I first smelled this wine, I told my rep, I was like, Charles, I'm gonna hate this wine. Like, I'm gonna and then I tasted it and I was like, I was wrong. I like this wine.
I don't actually love this wine stylistically, but like this wine is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying drinking this wine, even if I don't prefer this style of wine. Like this is a very cool, it's a very cool wine.
Yeah, I do think having this is like again, but as soon as I tasted it, I was like, holy shit, this is like the Thanksgiving wine. Like when I think of Thanksgiving table white wine, like this is the kind of wine that I think about. A lot of people tend towards like, I don't know, Burgundy and like actually a little bit of oaked Chardonnay, lightly oaked Chardonnay with turkey is actually not bad. It's not bad, lightly. But that's why a lot of people think about, but like to me, this kind of aromatic whites, I think is actually fantastic at Thanksgiving table. So yeah.
I think I generally agree with Charles, but the fact that this wine is just like salty as hell, I don't know, like it really works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes his wine like he likes his women. Salty.
Sweet and salty at the same time.
It kind of reminds me of Big Salt, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it has a lot of like round sweetness. It's pretty full body wine. It's got a lot of salinity. Like they're different, obviously, but both like white blends from the West Coast. Like there's some similarities.
Yeah, totally. Both coastal, similar thing, right by the
Yeah.
ocean. All right, let's play every favorite game. How much do you think this wine is on a retail show? How much would you be happy paying for this on a retail show? Central Coast, Santa Barbara.
I know, right? Yeah.
These days, it's not that cheap because you know it's gotten to known, it's gotten more popular. But also, I mean, small production, but it is wine for the people, as they said. I don't know. How much do you think this is? 28, 25, 38, 35, 30, 28, 30. Wow. You guys are very generous. This wine on the retail shelf is $23.
Stop it. It's like last week where it was like 19 or
What
something.
I'm saying, for $23, I
Right?
think this punches so above its weight class. Wine for the people. Like these are what these guys are trying to do. Just trying to make really affordable, drinkable, approachable wine.
I was being really cynical because when people say wine, you know, wine for the people, then it's like $50.
Yeah, exactly.
The antithesis of like, sorry.
Can I just say
Where my head goes these days, you know,
that exchange where
especially
you
from California.
Yeah.
doing that exchange where you said $23 and Dana said stop it reminded me of Beverly Hills Cop, where he's talking to the guy in the store and he's like, get out of here. He's like, I cannot get out of here. That was such a nice little, that made me smile. Thank you guys.
Perfect. There you go.
It was all based on
$23.
last week where like I was like, you know, it was 19 and I was like 32, whatever it was.
I mean, yeah, but like last week, it's almost like it is Piedmont after all. Yes, it's unknown grape, but it is Piedmont.
Right. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, from California, Santa Barbara, $23. I think it's a fantastic deal for 20. I'll be very happy if I got this at $23. Excellent. Any other questions? It will be on case cup. I'll put some of their other stuff too. All their wines have this kind of common thread, like where they're all affordable, really well priced, super delicious, drinkable.
Coffee in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's super tough. But if you wanted to geek out on the wine,
What I'm saying.
But yeah, cool.
I was in Florida, and this is has nothing to do with California, but I was in Florida and I got lunch. It was fish tacos, and it was $39. I was just like, I guess I wasn't looking at the menu and how much it cost. I was super hungry, and I just picked something that I thought would be really good because you're next to the water and you want to get seafood. $39.
Wow. Well, how many tacos?
Three.
Tacos? That's wild.
No sides, Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I hear the whole world's out of side salads, so it doesn't really...
Yeah, exactly. No baby greens. Any other questions?
I'll just say I think the label on this thing would make it an excellent gift. If you gave this to somebody as a gift, they'd be like, cool.
No, I know. I was going to say I love the graphics too. Yeah. They've done a very nice job with, sometimes the labels are homey.
Did you see the top of the cork had "so far out" on it?
Yeah.
I saw when you opened it. It was fun.
Yeah.
I guess that's a clue too. There is no capsule, so this wine's not $50.
Oh, right.
They're like,
I did notice that.
We don't even care enough to
annoys
keep
me.
moisture and dirt out. You can eat the moisture and dirt.
I don't know. In the natural wine world, I feel like there's a no capsule wines that are way up there these days.
Really? I feel like,
I guess that would be wax tops, at least.
We get waxed. I don't know. The one I hate is the plasticky capsule because what I like to do is just rip it off so I don't have to. The thing I'm worst at is opening the capsule with the knife. I'm terrible at that. I would fail a service exam every single time because they'd be like, is this guy still trying to get the capsule off with the knife? I'd be like, yes. I can't do it. Just rip it off.
Twist the,
But you have to keep the bottle facing towards the customer at all times.
Yeah, you can.
I cannot.
It takes practice. Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of practice, but it hasn't paid off.
Okay.
But can you do a nun's fart with sparkling?
Absolutely. I can make it so silent that I could drink it in a movie theater and no one would know that I had it, but I can't take the take the capsule off.
That's an excellent test if you get over in a movie theater.
Right?
Yeah.
You've taught us well.
We should do that.
Yeah. I have done
that. Of course, yeah.
It wasn't a full 750. It was like a split bottle.
Like a wine prom Olympics? Is this what we should do?
Actually, that's a pretty fun idea.
Oh, the next wine prom have games.
Yeah.
And it would be in the 3 months leading up to the wine prom. There would be pre-events, and then there would be a main event for the leaders.
Different heats, and then you have different heats for.
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty fun idea, actually. You got to make sure no one gets arrested because you have some real liability issues. But that's actually pretty awesome.
I have a feeling this is how the wine club gets shut down.
No, you can make it nice. You could be like, hey, whoever makes the best art out of corks and brings it to the wine prom gets a prize. Not just everybody athletics, how many bottles of wine.
Well, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm married to an artist, so I think I have we will make something weird. Well,
if she made a stop motion, a video with a corks and bottle, that'd be
amazing.
That'd be awesome.
She's in Wyoming right now at an artist commune making stop motion. I should send her some. Well, she's coming home this weekend, but should have told her to work on that while she was there.
That'd be a 6 foot promotion video. I was supposed to have.
We need a mascot.
Yeah.
Corky. The cork.
I feel like I feel like there's enough lawyers in wine club to make you sort of a rock solid waiver to get you out of any liability for
100%.
We're participating in wine Olympics.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Like, oh yeah, I crashed my car because I was trying to do XYZ, but like there's a bunch of people in my wine club who are lawyers. I'm gonna call that. I have no idea who Cecilia is. I've never heard of her.
Is that not only did the wine club get shut down, it's like a bunch of people get disbarred.
I work in construction. It's a pretty low bar at work for me. So
Excellent. Well, cool. Well, I'm gonna turn off this recording. Actually.
Of